Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I want to talk to you today about student loans and bankruptcy. And I've discussed in a previous video that right now, if you're trying to discharge student loans in bankruptcy, it's very difficult. You've got to show something called undue hardship, which at least in the Northern District of Georgia has been defined in terms of medical inability to pay debt. Other places not so much. And again, I think that the trend may be towards more towards forgiveness of student loan in bankruptcy, but right now it's still a real uphill battle. But what we can do, and this really applies both to the federally issued as well as the private student loans, is you can use bankruptcy to get rid of your other debt, and that way you have money to deal with the student loans. So it's kind of a backwards way to look at this, but if you've got a huge student loan burden, debt burden, we can look at filing bankruptcy to either get rid of expenses that you cannot afford, a house or a car or something like that, or to get rid of other monthly expenses like credit card debt, personal loans, things like that, so that you kind of clear the slate, and then you now have the capacity to deal with the student loan debt either in a full repayment plan or some sort of income-based repayment plan. Big picture is that credit card bills, personal loans, things like that, it's very hard to get them to count towards a budget when you're doing a compromise. So neither the IRS or the Department of Education will really give you a lot of credit for your obligations to pay credit cards and things like that. So one argument is to get rid of that debt using bankruptcy, so that when all is said and done, now you have more disposable income you can use to pay the student loans and get rid of those. And I certainly advise my clients to get rid of student loan debt if you possibly can, because it doesn't go away. It can be very devastating in the sense that in the federal government in particular, the Department of Education, they can garnish your wages without going to court first. The private student loan creditors can sue you, get judgments, they can add on penalties and interest and things like that. So it's kind of a nasty environment. So student loan debt is something you want to definitely take care of. So if you have a lot of student loan debt and other debt, I would invite you to come in and sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's come up with an overall kind of a global strategy to figure out what's the best thing to do, whether we can use some of the income-based programs within the Department of Education, or does bankruptcy have a spot? But it needs to be kind of more of a cohesive approach, so that we really take advantage of all the programs out there. Some of them you may not know about. All the programs out there to maximize your disposable income and help you get rid of the student loan debt burden once and for all and as soon as possible. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. Any questions, please let me know.